Welcome to the Release Show. I'm your host, Brittany Sconyers. On today's show, we have Roniesha Seaton. Roniesha comes from the humble city of Chester, Pennsylvania, where the challenging environment compelled her to create a worthwhile future. She launched her organization, I Am, which provides informational, resourceful, and motivational insight to one's personal and professional life with organized conferences. In recent years, Roniesha published her autobiography titled The Blossom in Me, which allowed her audience to dive into her past and understand how it contributed to her mission as a keynote speaker. She took the opportunity of transforming her autobiography into a one-woman show to reach a broader audience. And while COVID-19 impact, she developed and facilitated a virtual job readiness learning curriculum to assist youth with their growth and development, while also directing her newly released film, What's Beyond Your Eyes. She is a woman of great passion, dedication to see the best in humanity. Let's welcome Roniesha.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's jump right into it. What experiences did you go through growing up that played a large role in becoming the woman you are today?
The major experience was having a child early at 13 years old. My mom being addicted to drugs, my father being incarcerated, and then just living in an urban area where, of course, growing up in an urban area, the resources are somewhat limited for people. So the major challenges was my parents, and then also birthing a child, being a child myself.
So how was life like when you became a teen mom?
It was hard. It definitely wasn't easy. It had many, many challenges. However, through perseverance and determination, I was determined to get up and rise against all odds. Of course, being 13 years old, having a child at that age, I was judged a lot. Many people put labels on me. And then not having all the proper resources to take care of my child on my own also made it extremely tough to be a mother at that age.
Yes, but you definitely got through that storm, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So please tell us a little bit about your educational background and what it was like to obtain an advanced education in a challenging hometown.
So I went to Chester High School. And at Chester High School, I was a very troubled child. I would fight all the time, get in trouble. I got kicked out of school and had to go to alternative school. Ended up being in night school. Then when I got not even when I got out of night school, I ended up putting myself into foster care because the situation at home wasn't the best. So I put myself in the foster care. And while in foster care, the foster parent that I had enrolled me into a school where there was tuition based. And I was forced to pay my own tuition, but through it all, again, prevailed. I ended up graduating second in the classroom with the highest GPA as the salutatorian. I did go to college. I did not finish college. I ended up dropping out of college. And so I just have a high school diploma. Eventually, I feel like I want to go back, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure about that.
Well, you have a lifetime to go back if you decide to go back and if you feel like it fits your life situation right now. So what age did you decide to put yourself in foster care?
I was 14 years old. After I birthed my child, I decided to put myself in foster care.
So they took in your child as well?
Yes, it was the both of us.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That was great that you were able to make something good out of that. In 2017, you started your... Say it again? I'm sorry.
I said ultimately it was sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but that's another conversation.
Oh, okay. Okay. In 2017, you started your organization, I Am. Can you tell us more about this organization and why you chose to start it?
I decided to start I Am because I wanted people to understand that the past don't have to define your future. and that you are capable of reaching extraordinary heights in your life. And I wanted people to look at me as the example that if I could do it, so could they. So I organized multiple events and started creating events on a monthly basis on different topics, things that I've actually been through in my own life, because I would never personally speak about anything that I didn't personally endure and overcome. So when I did these events, and while still doing these events, it was important to help people start looking at life from a different perspective, unlearning and relearning again, to ultimately make life altering decisions for their life.
That's incredible. I actually watched your film and I see how passionate you are about everything that you do. It is so incredible, and I can't wait till we speak on that later in the interview.
Thank you.
Seeing that you grew up you're welcome. Seeing that you grew up in the community of Chester, where living was challenging, what have you done to improve the quality of living there as an influential figure?
So currently, what I do in Chester, I meet with the youth. So I organize youth curriculums to, again, change the perspective of some of our children, because, of course, if you're not exposed to if you're not exposed to anything different from your current environment, you think that that is literally all that you have out there and only the resources that you have for you. So with that being said, for me, what I'm doing is showing the youth that there are other things out here, teaching them how to verbally communicate, express themselves, teaching them how to find different resources for them, showing them that there is a different way and that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that Chester is not literally the end all be all for them.
That's incredible. I love the work that you're doing. Let's talk about your book, Blossoming If Me. What does this book contain, and what compelled you to publish it?
So it's called, I just want to correct the title, The Blossoming of Me. So The Blossoming of Me is my autobiography. It's literally my entire life from the beginning to the point of where I stopped writing it at when I first started my organization. And what made me write the book is because when starting IM back in 2017, people always wonder, like, what fuels the fire in you to speak? Like, where does this life come from when you speak? And I got tired of trying to sum up my story in a short 5 minutes, so I decided to put it in the book and, allow individuals to read it and then also see my perspective other than just hearing me say it, because I couldn't sum up my life in 5 minutes or in 12 chapters, but I summed it up a little bit in The Blossoming of Me.
Yeah, I totally understand when people would ask me about my life as well. I decided to write a book too, because it's like I can tell you bits and pieces of it, but in order for me to really get it across to you, I need to write a book so you can actually just go in detail and figure out how my life was. You later transformed your autobiography into a larger vision called One Woman Show to reach a larger audience. What does this version contain that the other one didn't have?
So that's The Blossoming of Me, One Woman Show. So in that play, I give a little bit more insight on the things that I actually went through. So I feel like in the book, I was able to give you the outline. In the play, I'm able to give you a little bit more meat and potatoes. So each chapter that I dive into in the book, I just go a little bit deeper in the play, letting, people really learn the ins and outs of me, my dating life, my mindset, being a mom when I was in an abusive domestic violence situation. It was, so, I mean, that play gives a little bit more to it. I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. So where can people watch the play?
So the play right now is stopped because of COVID. So unfortunately, we did 8 shows, and the videos that we did ended up getting lost, and life happens. But eventually, once COVID allows the world to open back up fully, the One Woman Show will start up again.
Okay, I understand. Feel free to bring them on the show. You can.
Cause you see me, I'm like, wait a minute, go.
As the pandemic destabilized economies, you proceeded to create a virtual job readiness learning curriculum. What is the aim of this curriculum and how has it changed the life of its targets?
So the aim of the virtual learning curriculum is to get the youth prepared to get out here into the real world. And it's not just about working a 9 to 5. I feel like your core values have to be strong. Your communication skills have to be strong, writing and verbally. Also, it's a major part about hygiene, the way you carry yourself. So it's letting the youth know that it's a place for everything. And sometimes it doesn't mean that you don't need to be yourself, but you have to learn how to adjust in this corporate world. So what I taught them was how to do resumes, how to actually demand what it is that they want. So we did a lot of mock interviews and things like that, and willing the interviewer in to show that you are different from everyone else, and just letting them know to be confident, because confidence is an important key. So if we're going to do anything in life outside of job readiness, you have to be confident enough to go for it. If you won't go for it, then people sense insecurities, and you then may miss your chance just based off of your overall appearance and your confidence level.
That is so true. That is so, so true. So is anybody able to enroll in this program, or is it just for youth in Pennsylvania?
So it's really for anyone who wants to bring it on board. So I have the overall curriculum, but it's implemented for different schools. So it's proposed to different schools for them to do it for their summer program for their youth. However, I did think about opening it all together and just having the youth individually come to me. But right now it's in a curriculum form. It's proposed to different schools. So different schools take this on as their summer program.
Oh, that's great. I think it would be a great idea for you to host like maybe virtual conferences, a virtual program for anybody to be able to come in case, you're not able to reach schools outside of where you are. That would be good, a great avenue to open it up for other people. Besides creating a curriculum, you are also busy with directing your own film, Beyond Your Eye. Please give us some information about this movie and what the viewer may gain from watching it.
Beyond Your Eye, for me, I feel like it's raw material. I feel like that was a place for me to be so vulnerable and open and allow others to see that you are not alone going through this. I feel like Beyond Your Eye is also a testament that we are all literally one and the same. We may just look different. We may come from different walks of life, but we all have different moments where we internalize things mentally, and so we just have to unlearn and relearn. See, because in my past, I always felt like the things that happened to me helped me back. And it wasn't until I conquered my mind, it wasn't until I stopped arguing to win, but started listening to learn, that I really unlearned and changed the entire narrative of my life. And I believe that a lot of people right now are in the midst of searching for themselves, in the midst of the storm, coming out of the storm, or entering the storm. But if we just take a moment to sit back and breathe and we'll look at it from every angle, then we'll be able to conquer it quicker than actually allowing it to take over us and making us fall completely down. So with Beyond Your Eye, I felt like, okay, I got the book. And The Blossoming in Me was a good book. It's a good book for people who love to read. Then I transformed the book into a play, and I was like, okay, well, I need to reach a broader audience for the people who don't read. And then COVID came and set us all down. So it was like, now it's time for me to be innovative. Okay, how can I reach people without actually being in the front of them? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put a film together because I really want people to know that things that we internalize and go through in life is really beyond the eye. It's never on the surface. Because one thing I always hear is that you don't look like what you've been through. But what is a person supposed to look like?
That is so true. I hear that a lot too. You don't look like what you've been through. And I would always understand, like, why would I look like what I went through? You know what I mean? Why would I look like that
Right.
person? A lot of times you're trying to hide that image anyways when you're going through something. So honestly, why would I look like that? And a lot of people I would tell them about my life and they just wouldn't believe it. Like, you went through that, you were depressed, you tried to kill yourself. Yeah, all the above. You know what I mean? So definitely, I don't understand that statement.
Yeah, exactly.
As a life coach, what advice do you have for people who wish to follow their dreams but are restricted by challenging factors?
So, as a life coach, what I would tell someone who's pursuing to follow their dreams that may feel like they're restricted. Okay, again, this is all about perspective, right? Find another angle to attack it. Just like for me, I started out with a book in conferences. I ended up turning it into a play, and now it's a film. I found another angle to attack it. Everything, there's no straight lines in life, right? So there's going to be bumps in the road, there's going to be curves, and there's going to be detour. What detour are you going to create for yourself to get around whatever roadblock is there? Because ultimately, you can't stay in that place, right? You know you want better, right? So what is it that you're willing to do? What is it that you're willing to risk? And what is it that you're willing to research to get around whatever it is that may be standing in your way of becoming that best version of you and reaching your full potential?
You have one powerful voice. I must
Thank
let
you.
you know. And so, do you plan to do like a TED Talk? Because I'm telling you, your viewers will be blown away by the power in your voice.
Yes, I do plan to do a TED Talk, which is funny is not last year, the year before last, I applied to do a TED Talk. I wasn't chosen, but I'm going to keep knocking on that door until it's open for me.
Yes, keep pursuing it. I've had a lot of guests on my show who have done TED Talks. And I listen to their TED Talks, and it's just amazing to see what other people have been through in their life. And I think it's a great platform for people to share their stories and things like that. So please continue to apply for that because one day that door will be open.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lastly, we like to know your projections for the next few years or decade. Where do you see yourself and your establishments in the future?
So this is always a hard question. I always leave it in the air. Anytime someone asks me this, I always say, just wait and see what's next. Because I'm always popping up with something, and I like to keep people on the edge of their seat and in suspense. I don't always like to let my right hand know what my left hand is doing, right?
Okay.
So I tell you, just wait a minute, just hold on tight, hold on, buckle your seatbelt, and just get ready because literally, I am filled with so many ideas and so much creativity that this is not it for me. But what I can share is that right now I'm in the process of creating a women's conference, a women's formal that I'm going to end up doing on a yearly basis. So right now I'm actually putting pieces to the puzzle together so that we can do women's retreats and, go off with that. That way the women just have that to themselves. So that I can tell you that I am working on, but everything else, just hold on tight because it's all coming.
Believe me, I understand, girl. I like to keep quiet until it's time for it to come to fruition. So I definitely understand that. But I like what you're doing about the women's conferences, the virtual women conferences. We need more of those to reach people all around the world and not just those who are in our cities or where we're planning to have the event. Even with this show, honestly, I wanted to do in-person interviews and I planned it for that. Then COVID happened. And so I'm like, I still want to do this. And I felt like it was so much better to do it virtually because I've had people from all different countries on this show sharing their stories. I don't know them. And everybody just comes and it's just a great time for me to hear what they've been through. So definitely continue to do those virtual conferences every year because I know they will empower a lot of women around the world. But I also feel like as women, we need to start doing something for the men. I know we're always talking about women empowering women, but I was like, we need to start doing something for the men because I feel like the men needs a little help too.
When I first started my organization, it was catered towards just women, and then I changed it to be women, children, and men, because a lot of men don't get a lot of recognition. And let's just be honest, men are truly our backbone, regardless of what people may say about them today and what we hear in the media. Men are our backbone. Men are our balance, our stability, and our structure, the things that we can't provide, right? And I feel like there's a balance in life. So in the film, there is a little part where I talked about an event that I actually did called The Black Man is King. And at that event, I crowned every king, but the whole objective of the event was for the men to have a voice. Because so many times we hear men is this or men is that, but men aren't truly able to fully express themselves. So when I did that event, I allowed them to let their hair down, fully be transparent, and accept whatever it was that they were throwing at us. It was a few women there. It wasn't a lot. I had women there that had the same mindset that I had, whereas though we're not going to get defensive or feel attacked, but we're here not to argue to win, but to listen to learn.
Yes. Listen to learn. That's powerful. Listen to learn. Yeah. So I think I'm going to try to do something with the men too. Cause I'm like, and I try to get men on my show. I've probably had like 3, but it's like, I'm always trying to get men, but the women are always like, okay, I'll be on there, and it's like, it's so hard for men, I guess, to open up and share their experiences. But yeah. And I also watched this podcast. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called I Am Athlete.
Okay, no, I haven't heard of it.
Okay. It's a new one, and it's crazy because it's like Ocho Cinco is one of them. Brandon Marshall, Channing, I can't remember his first name, but they're all so hilarious or whatever. But I like how they have like I Am Athlete, and then they have the woman version, I Am Woman. So I think it's so cool because they give both perspectives, and they also do like couples shows too. And it's so powerful because, it's good to see and hear the men's point of view, as well as the woman. And it's like you're there together and there's no arguing. They're just basically just like passionate about how they feel and what they have to say. And it's super incredible. It's new. I can't remember how I came across it, but I did, and I watched one show, and then I kind of fell in love with it. But I like what they're doing, how they have the woman version and the male version. It's pretty cool. So I think we need to do, as women, we need to do more for the men to give them that platform to speak and tell their stories and empower them too, and for them to be inspired as well. So I think we all, as women, need to kind of, put them in our vision as well. So, and I'm definitely trying to do that myself. So, yes.
I know a lot of honorable men who I can send your way if you're willing to.
Okay. Yes.
I'm very welcome to. I could definitely do that for you, so you can start getting more men on the show.
Yes, I'm like, I have all these women. Like every time I'm posting, when they book, I'm like, another woman. Like I love hearing hearing the stories behind us, but it's like, come on, I want some men. I want some men on the show. So, I mean, because the men I did have on the show were incredible. So I'm like, I know there's more men out there who would love to share their stories. So yes, definitely, please send them my way. I would love to have him on the show.
Absolutely.
Yes. So please let everyone know how they can follow you and continue supporting your journey.
So right now I am currently on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, LinkedIn. I have a personal website, which is www.iamRonieshaSeaton.com. On all social media platforms, if you type in Roniesha Seaton, you will find me. It's RON. S-H-A. A lot of people think that it's spelled with an A instead of an O, but yes, RONIESHA. My last name is Seaton. Also, you can, on my website, you can join to become a member, so you will stay up to date on the things that are going on, certain events that are happening, virtual events, also different merchandise that goes on sale, all that good stuff. So the website is truly the plug, but you can find it on all social media platforms.
Great. And let everybody know how they can purchase your book and also view your movie.
So right now, my books are available on my personal website. You also can purchase them on Amazon. Amazon has Prime, so if you want to get it fast, quick, in a hurry, you're eager, you can get it on Amazon, or you can come over to my site and I'll personally ship the the book for you. The film is right now on Amazon Prime. Beyond Your Eyes, you have to just type it up in the search engine, or it might be there in the recommendations. Who knows? But if you had trouble, I know someone did say they had trouble looking it up because it's a few films on Amazon titled Beyond Your Eyes with an S. Mine is without the S, but you can also type in Roniesha Seaton and I will come up and you can find that on.
Great. Well, I didn't have a problem finding it. I just put in Beyond Your Eye and it came right up. So, like she said, so yeah, just put in Beyond Your Eye in Amazon and it's right there for you to purchase. It is a powerful, powerful movie. Her voice is amazing. I heard a little bit of it, but I was looking forward to hearing that powerful, powerful voice that I heard on the movie. But I understand you were recording, so I get it.
It's different when you're actually doing an interview. And people say that all the time. When I'm doing an interview, it's like, all right, I'm just me, but when I'm actually speaking to speak life, it actually comes out and it comes full force. And when you actually said give someone some advice, you heard it starting to spew out, right? So.
Yes. I heard it when you were talking about your movie too. I heard it. I was like, here it goes, here it goes. Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much for being on the Release Show, and I look forward to continue following your journey. And many blessings to everything you put your hand on. And have a great day.
Thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of your day as well.
Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning into the Release Show. See you next time.